We're on live broadcast right now. I want to post the title, then we start. Pandemonium. Hello, Mr. Raka, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. We are back again with our daily political discussion on Nembo TV. And today we are here to discuss about the Northern agenda for Nigeria, given that the 2023 presidential election is coming up and the zoning process as well. Mr. Raka, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Yesterday, you were not able to join us. I brought endurance to the program. So today, we're going to be discussing about Northern agenda for Nigeria. Mr. Sani joined us briefly yesterday. Mr. Raka,
Yeah.
hello.
I'm sure if
Mr.
he sees this topic, he would want to join. I'm 100% sure. If he sees this topic, and I would have this is the part I would have loved him to join. Because he would want to make excuses for all the points I'm going to bring out today.
This is going to be very controversial if I have to bring him to join you on the program. I can't hold fights. I can't hold any political fights. I can't.
If you separate fight, have you?
No, I can't do that. So, Mr. Agenda, Mr. Uraka, when we say Northern Agenda, what do we mean by that term?
Yeah, I want to say I am very happy you put the topic so succinctly with a degree of circumspect. It's very good that you put it that way. But having said so, perhaps I would like to rephrase the question in a way that suits my explanation. Is there a northern agenda for Nigeria? If we say northern agenda, from what perspective are we looking at it from? Because there are many northerners. We have North Central, we have Christian North, we have Islamic North. So, of course, the Christian North does not have agenda because they are not even in a place to even concoct an agenda for Nigeria, talk less of implementing an agenda. Even the far north, I wouldn't say every Muslim concocts an agenda for Nigeria, but a group of people with an ideology of political supremacy that believe that somewhere sewn in their head, they are born to rule, wants to change the fabric of Nigeria to evolve a system that continuously perpetuates their ideology and opportunity and circumstances and realism for them to continue to rule. Not to rule to better Nigeria, not to rule to advance the development of humanity, but to rule just to soil their political fantasies that a certain tribe are now ruling. And they justify this by one jihadist that lived long ago in the name of Uthman Danfodio, who said he will dip Quran in the ocean. And where is the ocean? The ocean is as far as where Delta State lies. And a group of people who have that ideology, who believe they must fulfill the dictates of their forefather, Uthman Danfodio, have now decided to hatch a plan. Now, don't get me wrong. Unlike us in the South, who are not able to string ideologies or to string plan for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, these people in question can actually carry out an agenda or a plan for as long as 50, 60 years. They have that patience, and they have that ability to have such a plan to inundate. That means to carry everybody along without one single unit of that clique betraying one another. They are not like us, where if we carry out a plan, one guy go to us, oh boy, don't worry. By next tomorrow, Biafra will come, or by June 12th, Biafra is coming, or by this. They are not like that. They have a way of protecting a plot. We are not like that. But for us to understand exactly what this agenda is all about, to answer the question, is there a northern agenda for Nigeria? My response is affirmatively yes, there is an agenda. So how? When did it start? Now, there was an agenda long before now. Long before now. Even before independence, there has always been a northern agenda. But the reason why it was not pronounced in the past is because Southerners are more enthused by their daily chores of looking for money, going to school, training your child to become a graduate, to become a doctor, to become an engineer. You know, we are more in pursuit of the good life. We are not attuned to politics. Now, politics and the life of the North is the same thing. The life of the Northerner is politics. I mean, let me put it straight. The life of the core Northerner is politics, and politics is the life of the core Northerner. Even in the syllable of the language, you know, every language, man is a product of his language. Every language has a psychological tone that molds the person that uses that language. For instance, now we Urobos, we always say, if you wish, you have one confess wish, you won't confess. If your wish no will catch me. So because of that, we tend to be more pettish. You get me? If you study the Igbo language too, you find out that the product is always about money. So the people tend to be more about more inclined to money. So if you see the Hausa language too, the product of the language is more or less violent, domineering. So it's a more commanding language. So because of that product of that language, it molds the people that uses it. So they tend to see themselves as domineering, as one who will lord over people. So before then, there is a northern agenda. And in order to actualize this northern agenda, you must suppress the rest of the masses. And how do you do that? So the agenda had been in place, and it started from the military, where we had Abacha and who came first? Is it Babangida or Abacha? I'm seem to be losing.
Babangida came first. Babangida came first.
When Babangida came, the first stage he did, the first stage, you have to be very patient, because I'm going to expose something to you that you may not have thought of. It has been there, but you didn't think about it. Yeah. So when Babangida came, the first plot of the northern agenda was the introduction of the 6th geopolitical zone. Now, in the north, in the core north, they carved the northwest, which is where you find the real cabal, the real architect of the real pursuers of the northern agenda. And what they use the instrument of Islam to grab other tribes and project themselves as the true founders of Islam, and make that same Islam look as if you practice it, you are not practicing the truest faith. When you practice it, consciously or unconsciously, you now give credence to those who brought this Islam for you by way of allegiance. That is why you see in most mosques in the north, is mostly Fulanis that are mostly imams in this mosque. Now, in the other part of the north, which is northeast, these are remnants of Fulanis that are there, like Adamawa, where Atiku comes from, but they are Fulanis. But even them, and they don't regard those ones as complete Fulanis. They are their brothers, but most of those Fulanis, they don't see them as staunch supporters of the core Islamic values. And therefore, to some extent, they really don't, you know. That was why when the choice came between Buhari, who is from Northwest, and Atiku is from Northeast. One of the reasons why most of the Northerners didn't vote for Atiku was because they didn't find him as someone who can carry out the core Islamic values. That was why most of them didn't vote for him. And that thing may also play against him for now, except where the idea of Islamic North plays. So that's there. Then in the North Central, we have to make them feel as if they are not, but limit their confidence as Northerners to a level. So let us gather them and give them North Central. We can only use them to augment our numbers when politics comes, because we'll always fly the Northern agenda for them. And then the Northerners, by way of identity, which they don't lay a claim for. They only lay a claim by mere abstract identity. Then they will align their political interest with the North, which was why they described the North Central as willing tools. By willing tools, it means you are unconscious of the fact that your activity or your consciousness are geared towards satisfying the interests of the Northern cabal. So that's one. Then when you come to the South, which gets even more interesting. Now they know that the only people that understands the agenda of the North very, very well are the Igbos. The Igbos are the only ones who truly understand where the Northerners are coming from. But in order to render the Igbos powerless, let us work on their ego and carve a region for them and name it Southeast and give them the impression that they occupy a region, when in actual fact it is not a region. But we assume it's a region. Give them a small place and call it a region, and carve small areas like local government and name it state. By the time they call themselves governor of Anambra State, governor of Imo State, governor of Abia State, they begin to have that idea that they are a region. And then those neighbors who ordinarily the Igbos would have aligned to and form a massive political force, let's separate them from these Igbos and name them South-South. And tell these Southerners that we are doing a favor by separating you from your enemy. That way, we will now begin to work consciously to ensure that Igbos never have political relevance in Nigeria. So there's one knife with two sides by creating South-South and Southeast. One edge of the knife is the Igbos themselves, who always work independently as a region. And working independently as a region will never get any political strength in the country. And the South-South too will never get any political relevance working as a region, except both work together. But the idea, the mechanism of ensuring that these two never work together has been shown in place by creating South-South and Southeast. It's an ingenious plan. Then the Southwest, they too, they have a political ideology. Like the Southwest too have political ideology just like the Northwest. But unlike the Northwest, who want to extend and take all over the country, the Southwest are not interested in conquest, in taking over people's land. They are more concerned about that Oodua Republic, otherwise known as also known as Southwest. So now they have the land space and they have the numbers. In order that the North cabal to have relevance when it comes to numbers. Already the North, they have places like Kogi, Nasarawa, Adamawa, which they are not the most populous there, but they have a system of government whereby they place their own there to ensure that these people control that place. And therefore, those ones have been taken care of. So what the North simply does with the Yorubas is simple. They meet the Yoruba, the Southwest, come. Let us work together to grab Nigeria. I was saying that what they North simply do is let us meet the Southwest and say, okay, let us form an alliance. This alliance, let us work together and grab the power of Nigeria. When I grab the power of Nigeria, then I'll hand it over to you. Unfortunately, whenever it comes to the turn of the Yorubas, the Northerners always have a way of changing the tide to ensure that they don't have it eventually. That plan was working to a point until they did an error where Abiola was eliminated. And the alliance they had with the Yorubas was going to break forever. So they designed a means to fix it by ensuring that they zone it to the Yoruba people, just to ensure that whatever friendship the Northwest and Yoruba have remains, they zone it. That was what brought Olufalaye, a Yoruba man, and Obasanjo, a Yoruba man, to contest for presidency, because the North has already agreed that let us compensate these Yoruba people for what we did to them by eliminating one of their sons. Now, and Obasanjo came, who was in the prison. The mistake they did was that they didn't know that Obasanjo was a military man. They felt maybe because he was old and having spent some time in the military with all the travels he had, he will be a difficult person to, he will be an easy person to control. Now, while putting Obasanjo there, they ensure that they put somebody who will always monitor Obasanjo and almost control Obasanjo, which was why they brought Atiku to become his vice. Anybody in Nigeria knows that when Atiku was vice president, he ensured that he gave Obasanjo a run for his presidential life. That is because it is beneath a core northern Fulani man to see himself as second to the South. It is beneath them. Now, flashback to Yaradua time. Yaradua took over from Obasanjo, right? After Obasanjo, who was the next president? Yaradua. Now, Obasanjo, people said Obasanjo took Yaradua because Yaradua was going to die. That's not true. That's not true. That's really not. I don't believe that, but we are not. I don't want to dabble into conspiracy theories. I'm just trying to string events that people can actually identify and make conclusions from these events that really did occur. So Yaradua came, and as usual, if a Southern man will be president, they ensure that they put somebody tough from the North to be his vice. If they are going to pick a president from the North, they ensure that they pick somebody soft from the South. Take example, Obasanjo, South president, tough person, Atiku was vice. Yaradua, tough, Goodluck Jonathan, soft person by the side. The only time they almost picked soft person as Namadi Sambo, they burnt his house. Now, the agenda of the North was what the temple and the need to fasten the Northern agenda came up when Goodluck Jonathan became president. Don't forget that when Yaradua died, they almost wanted to, because no president had ever died in office in Nigeria. So it was an event that was not factored into this agenda at all. It was an event that was not factored in. Otherwise, in a normal election, there's no way Goodluck Jonathan would have won. Goodluck Jonathan can never emerge in any election whatsoever. Take a look at our strongest man, Wike. As strong as he is, he still couldn't get an election because the factors that I built earlier on from this so-called Southeast, Southwest, South-South was there to always play against us. So when Yaradua died, it was an event that was not factored, that was not calculated. But then it has happened. And the Constitution clearly stated that if a president dies in office, the vice is immediately sworn in as the commander-in-chief. And in came Goodluck Jonathan. And when Goodluck Jonathan came in, everything about Nigerians' aura, everything about the political aura of Nigeria changed. For instance, when Goodluck Jonathan is in church, they will be showing church environment in NTA. NTA, Nigerian Television Authority, in case you don't know it, is a property of, no, if you see the logo of NTA, it's the same logo of Arewa. The logo of Arewa is, I think, is one greenish thing like that. It's also behind the NTA. Forget the normal NTA logo. There's also one green. So NTA to the northerner is like a media channel for their purpose. And you are showing church inside Aso Rock. Now, a lot of people don't know that one of the greatest things that annoyed the North was Obasanjo building a chapel in Aso Rock. Now, they couldn't talk because there's also a mosque in the chapel. But I can tell you today, right now, as we speak, that the chapel in Aso Rock is no longer working. The chapel in Aso Rock is no longer functioning. Because obviously, it was something that needed to stop. You can't begin to...
Mr. Raka, how do you know that the chapel is not working?
No, it's not working. I have people. It's not working. It has been... It's not working. Before Aisha Buhari left the place, that place was... They turned the place to a salon where the first lady dresses his hair like your own. They dresses her hair. You understand me? So it's not working. So the idea is to take out anything that radiates Christianity in Nigeria. Now, let me tell you what happened. This is something that didn't happen. The core proponent of Islamic agenda, headed by Buhari, is one of those Islamic extremists, those who actually believe that Nigeria should operate under Islamic law. Buhari is one of them. I dare to say it. Now, how do you capture power back when you have an agenda that has broken off? How do you get it back? Because between Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, everything that the cabal had built to get Nigeria into the mainstream of modernization was derailed. The first thing you need to do is to give a dog a bad name in order to hang it. Ah, the man drinks. Ah, the man is clueless. Ah, the man whatever. And wrap it up. Get people who always criticize them. Get a Showore who is a southerner but work against his own. Have you ever wondered why Showore is attacking anytime something good is coming to the south? We always criticize it if it's not him. You criticize Jonathan, now you are criticizing Peter Obi, because anytime the political searchlight beams in the south, it is not you. Aside Dokubo too, so everything is just aimed to ensure that attention shifts away from the south. Now, when Buhari came,
Mr. Raka, do you think that the voice of Showore can shape Nigerian election?
No. He's just wasting his time.
So if not, there's no need of even discussing about it.
No, I was talking then during Jonathan's time when his Sahara Reporter was active. Sahara Reporter was used tremendously by APC and Buhari then to shape popular opinion, but it's not relevant now. Then it was
popular opinion on social media. We're talking about those who are going to vote on grants. This idea of using votes on social media or commentators on social media to predict Nigerian election, I don't really support it, because I know that it doesn't work. What people are saying on social media has nothing to do with the.
But one of the tools that APC used to get to power, social media. One of the propaganda machines that APC used was social media. In fact, 80% of their campaign propaganda came from social media. 80%.
Mr. Raka.
So let's not go there. Let's not break the
social media. Those who are using social media are not in Nigeria. They don't have PVC.
Okay, let me
guarantee you, those in Nigeria that hold the PVC, majority of them don't use social media.
Okay.
Those who are someone like me and many others in the West who are using the social media, we don't vote. We don't have PVC. That's why I'm saying that there's no need.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something that happened again. I want to, you see, some of us, we don't observe. Even if we observe, we don't digest. When Buhari came into power, his first statement, I am for everybody, I am for nobody. Now, such a statement by intellectuals could, because the type of education we have allows us to think rationally. We like to intellectualize everything we hear and everything we see. When the man came and said he's for everybody and he's for nobody, to you, it may resonate to you as somebody who is telling you that he's not going to be biased. But in truth, he's telling you that he's for everybody, he's Fulani people. He's for nobody, the Southern people. That was what he meant. And he further emphasized it that he can only do, only the 97% who voted for him that will benefit his administration. And the 5% who didn't vote for him, actually it's supposed to be 95 and 5%, but I'm just quoting him verbatim. The 5% who voted for him will not enjoy his administration. And who were the 5% who didn't vote for him, according to him, were the Southeast. And truly in his administration, he made sure that a Fulani man does not make empty threat, and a Fulani man does not forget. El Rufai said it. Now, that's by the way. When Buhari came in, the first thing he did was to take out all the roadblocks across the Federation. Are you aware of that? You're not aware?
No.
He took out all the roadblock. There was no roadblock. For 2 weeks, we didn't have checkpoints on the road. Why was that? In that same week, they moved all the arsenal from all the states, from all the military formation in the country, with the guys that they are taking them to Maiduguri to fight insurgency, which depletes the South of any weaponry in case there's a civil war. And while those checkpoints were off the way, it gave room for small arms and weapons to be distributed around. Now, I'm forming a theory. This is not real. I'm just forming a theory. Because I'm wondering why, after 2 weeks, when the checkpoints were returned back, that was when we started seeing suicide bombing. Plateau State, for instance, was worse hit. We had people going to church and blowing up churches, blowing up wedding grounds. You know, so as at this time, all the materials for explosive weapons have been distributed. And the distribution is still going on because right now they can't use road. I'm made to understand they're using helicopters to distribute weapons and food. Now, another period came again during the lockdown. During the lockdown, something came up. You know, most things happen that were not factored into this agenda. For instance, in the lockdown, a lot of vehicles were stopped while we were sitting at home, believing that we were quarantining ourselves from the COVID-19. They were moving to the south. Hordes of them were being sent to the south. I could see when we were on social media, a lot of vehicles were caught, exposing some people that were being transferred to strategic places. And another thing happened again. They realized that the number of Southerners living abroad makes a lot of money when they send to Nigeria. As at the 3 months of COVID-19, it was estimated that over $180 million was sent into Nigeria as gift to people in Nigeria. So what happened? Immediately after the COVID-19, Central Bank was instructed not to accept transfer direct from Nigeria to your local account. So as we are in Nigeria today, you cannot receive money from abroad unless it comes in normal dollar, which immediately goes to the man at the Bureau de Change, which is mostly Buhari's brother. So everything is now factored to harness the northern agenda. And what is it all about? In the north here, they practice what we call a feudal system. A feudal system is a system where a certain people believed to be elite, just elite, to call them elite is even reducing the status. They believe that God has created them to be superior to other human beings. And trust me, that includes you, Nekpe. That includes every Southerner. They believe you are beneath them. That includes the Igbo man, the Yoruba man, even the Muslim, even the Yoruba.
Exclusive of me, exclusive, Mr. Raka. That is their belief, not my belief. I don't accept their belief. So that is their belief that poverty is a normal thing in the north. That's what Mr. Sani told me the other time. He said, depend on how we define poverty. So I was asking him, how come many northerners are beggars? He said, depend on what we define as poverty. You understand? So if they define their own poverty in a different way, I'm not part of that, their ideology. They don't cast me. I'm not part. I'm from the Benin Kingdom. I'm not part of that, their agenda.
So to them, there's a type of elite, not just elite because you have attained education or you've attained wealth. It's a type of self-induced conviction that makes them believe that God, the Almighty Allah, created them differently to rule others. Every Fulani man believes that. And Sani told me that we are all their younger brothers. The rest of the Nigerians are their younger brothers. I love that man. Believe me, I love him because he just tells you the way it is. If you like, go and hug transformer, but just give it to you straight up. So they believe they are born to rule. It's a conviction. I told you there's nothing as strong as a conviction. They believe they are born to rule. And they will do anything possible to ensure that they keep that status that enables them to rule. Now,
I don't think they believe that they are born to rule, Mr. Raka. It's necessity. No, I don't think they believe they are born to rule Nigeria. I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I'm perplexed that you are saying this. I am telling you that I've stayed with them for 55 years. I'm telling you that is what they believe, and you say you don't believe it.
We have to be blaming the Southern leaders that gave this opportunity for Northerners to be ruling for a very long time. So it has become a pride.
It's like you're not watching from the beginning of the program. From the beginning of the program, I started by laying an analogy of the creation of the political regions: Northwest, Northeast, North Central, South, Southeast. That was where the whole agenda started. And to us in the South, we're like bingos that our owners gave names, and we're accepting these names. Hey, Southwest, yes, sir. Southeast, yes, sir. South, yes, sir. Now these names, we have so held on to it. Anything that tells that you and the Yoruba man and the Igbo man, you are one, you will not agree. The Igbo man is hating the South man. The Igbo man is hating the Yoruba man. The Yoruba man is hating the South man. The Yoruba man. So we are just hating ourselves because we have been conditioned, named to be different. We have been named to be different. Assuming they name all of us, assuming somebody comes and say, I'm creating only two geopolitical zones, Southern zone and Northern zone. And the Southeast, this is removed. You see that within 2 years, we'll start thinking about South. Have you asked yourself why, if another man is talking, he hardly talk about Northwest or Northeast? because they know they are one. They'll say, we Northerners, the North, the North, the North. When a Southern man is talking, it's the Southeast, the Southwest, the South. Because they are names given to us by those who believe they own you, and we are answering it. Even any attempt to tell you now that this name given to you are the very reason why we are unable to be united, you say, no, I prefer the name like that. Tell a South man now that they are going to join you with Igbo. You said no, that I can't be with Igbos. Tell a South man that I'm going to join with Yoruba. The Yoruba man will say no, I can't be with you. So we have been conditioned to be disunited. Will remain like that until the day they decide to create Southern region and Northern region and do away with all the Southeast and Southwest and South nonsense. But that's not.
Mr. Raka, Mr. Raka, yesterday I was saying at the program yesterday that for the sake of fairness and equity in Nigeria, you know, the two leading political parties, APC and PDP, may perhaps maybe, you know, give opportunity to an Easterner, you understand, an Igbo person to be their candidate. You understand? If APC can agree to nominate an Easterner as their candidate, why PDP will do so? Two of them will contest for the presidency. At least one of them will win. So for fairness and equity's sake in Nigeria, because it's like these two political parties have ignored the fact that the Eastern region have not been given the opportunity to rule Nigeria over these years. And these people have been agitating. And they don't care. They don't just care. Look at Tinubu. Look at Atiku. They don't care.
Yeah, you got there before me. Before we even go to that place, I want you to. It's a good thing you brought this question up. Take a good look at Tinubu. Take a good look at Atiku. Then take a good look at Buhari. It was this same Buhari that named the Igbo as a dot in a circle. When he made that statement, a dot in a circle, even the Igbos that were referred to as dot in the circle didn't know what he meant. It was just a hyperbolic statement to express how insignificant, how the Fulanis see the Igbos as insignificant in Nigerian politics.
They don't just care. It's not their business.
Look at the Tinubu, who is saying that it is the Yoruba's turn. And if it is Yoruba's turn, a Milo con. That means if it comes to Yoruba, it is him. That means he owns Yoruba people. If it is, that means for him being the president, look, a person with a mindset like that alone should not be allowed to rule Nigeria. A person who has a mindset of a tribe. You get me? Even though I know that Peter B deep down somewhere will feel that yes, it's supposed to be the turn of the Igbos, but you've not heard him say it is the turn of the Igbo. It should be the turn of the Igbos. He's always saying Nigeria, 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 Nigeria. Atiku cannot have the moral. Look, Atiku. Let me tell you something. I was going to land to the main point. I think in 30 seconds I'll be there. So let me tell you something. Atiku, Tinubu, and Buhari, they are all in this thing. They are all in this agenda together. They are all in this agenda together. It's just that, okay, this is what I'm going to do, but this is what I'm going to compensate you with. Don't worry. When this happens, you will not be affected. Unfortunately, it is only the Fulani man that understands the meaning of power. If you watch Game of Thrones, when the man came to me, the woman said, knowledge is power. The woman now said, the guards should come. They should seize him, cut off his throat. He said, no, don't cut off his throat. Leave him. Go take 2 steps backward, turn around. And then he walked to the man and said, power is power. So it is only the Fulani man that understands what power really is. When Jonathan was there, he didn't know what power is. When Obasanjo was there, he too knew what power is, but his people didn't support him to use power the way power is. So they knew exactly what power is. Now, the Igbos too, also understand what power is. Have you asked yourself why the Igbos don't trust the Fulanis and the Fulanis don't trust the Igbos? It's because there are two people with the same vision to power. So in order that the Fulani continues to control power, let us make sure that we cage the Igbos. That is what this whole thing is all about. Cage the Igbos from understanding their potential. And that's exactly what they are doing. So Tinubu, Buhari, and Atiku, they are all in this together. In the whole of the 8 years that Buhari was in power, Buhari never faulted or made any comment against Buhari. I'm sorry, Atiku never made any comment against Buhari. Instead, if he wants to make any reference, he said this administration. But you never say this Buhari administration or the Buhari administration. Never.
I don't think Atiku is very good at criticizing. I've never seen him coming out publicly and criticizing.
Atiku criticized. Was he not the one who criticized the killing of Deborah in Sokoto and later removed the criticism from the tweet? He can criticize, just that the concept of Fulani oneness is with him. And which is why I believe that if he becomes president of Nigeria, anytime the interest of Nigeria and the interest of Fulani clashes, he's going to stick with the interest of Fulani. He will not pick the interest of Nigeria above the interest of Fulani. That I can assure you. He has proven that to you. He proved that from the tweet. It's just God that uses them to reveal what they cannot do as president. It's God's God that is helping us to relieve them. For those who have had any bias, you can now use what you see now.
Mr. Raka,
yeah.
I think we should put ourselves in the shoes of the Easterners, the Southeast people.
It is precisely what I'm. It is precisely what I'm trying to do here. You understand me?
Mm.
These three people I mentioned. When Buhari won the second time, it was simply a matter of telling Atiku, wait, when we finish, we'll give it to you. And I'm telling you, a Fulani man will always keep his promise. Forget this thing that Sani is coming say Atiku is not a true Muslim, Atiku is this, Atiku is that. Do we need a true Muslim to become president? You see, when I told that the concept that guys Northern is Nigeria, same malam. And Sani came and told that Atiku is not a true Muslim. So to them, anybody that must rule Nigeria must be a true Muslim. And by true Muslim is one who will keep the core value, whether retrogressive or not, of Islam above the constitution of Nigeria, which is what Buhari has done. To you, Buhari has failed. To Sani, Buhari has performed. Why do you think Sani believes that Buhari has performed? It's simple. Buhari has ensured all the Islamic Sharia law that every Northerner has dreamt of. Buhari has done it. Ensure that Fulanis are strategically placed in all facets of the polity. Ensure that nepotism thrived at the highest level that you can take. Ensure that NNPC, our civil service, everywhere in INEC, just watch. The chairman of INEC is a Fulani man. Chairman of military man. Chairman of everywhere. So to Sani, Buhari has done exceedingly well.
Yeah, that's what he said.
It doesn't matter whether right is 1,000 naira. It doesn't matter if it's 300.
Yeah.
So when he said Buhari has done well, it's on the basis that Buhari has repositioned Nigeria under the control of the Fulani. For that level, Buhari has done 100% well. He said me over 90, he said over 90, for me over 100%. So that Southerners can have sense. Whenever you are voting again, you vote. You see, Tinubu said he is the one who made Buhari. He was in Ibadan, in Ogun State, sorry. He was hitting his chest and said that he made Buhari to become president of Nigeria. Now, here is the question. If you made Buhari to become the president of Nigeria, and this same man you hoisted on Nigerians are now putting Nigerians into untold hardship, and lives of these people that you bestow these people on and no longer say people are losing their lives daily. What comment did you make? What rebuke did you make? What admonishment did you make? Which means, as a Muslim man, if you two come into power and your Muslim brothers are killing Christians, you pretty much will also be keeping quiet for your brothers to keep killing Christians. In this country, somebody went to a church and started killing the innocent, defenseless people who came to church to pray, and you were shooting them at close range. Did the President of the Federal Republic make any comment with that regard? Nothing. When Deborah was killed and maimed like an obscene snake, did the president make a comment? Every day people kill. When the train was derailed and people went into the train and were killing people and even abducted people, did your president make a statement? That is because these people don't care. It doesn't matter whether anything. All they are just interested in is to ensure that Nigeria is positioned for the rule of Fulanis.
One thing I don't understand, I'm not sure President Buhari is conscious of the problems facing this country.
He is. How can you not be conscious? When they killed some Fulanis in Jos here, when they killed some Fulanis here in Jos some months ago, was it this year, Obaro? Was this year, Nabi? That fly they killed along Tafawa Balewa last year. Yes. Okay. When they killed some Fulani last year, Buhari immediately told the governor and they should go to the root of it. Armies were on top motorbike and just shooting randomly just to please the Oga at the top that, okay, we killed some Southerners too. We killed some Christians too. You understand me?
So, look, to be a president of a country, there are some responsibilities that you have to fulfill in the country. When there is any tragedy, any incident in the country, as a president, you're supposed to intervene. But we haven't seen anything like that over this year.
But he told you that I am for everybody, I am for nobody. He told you that is for everybody.
I don't know why they didn't impeach him.
He's for everybody who voted for him, and he's for nobody who means nothing in Nigeria.
I've never seen any president who is not active. When there is crime, when there is tragedy, when there is something that the president is supposed to speak at, address the nation, we haven't seen Buhari active, and they are not impeaching him. If you cannot carry out your responsibility as the president of a country, then you have to leave and let somebody else take over. Nigeria is a very complex country.
The
whole world.
You are right. Yeah? You know that anytime the North, anytime the North hatches an agenda for Nigeria, God has a way of bringing something inside that they didn't factor into their plan. Now, PDP and APC has been taken. Look, everybody moves to APC when it is good for APC. When it is bad for APC, they move to PDP. APC and PDP, they're just. I wouldn't have said this before. I was a PDP member, die-hard PDP, but after the primaries, it became very clear to me that these two are just the same thing. So either way, I don't think they factor this youth that did NSAS, and they thought that they have silenced them. Of course, no youth will come and say and be protesting on the road now. So the only way now they can channel that energy that they couldn't channel on the road for NSAS, they are channeling it now for get your PVC and get whatever. So they also didn't factor in this wave, this obedient wave, that they also didn't factor it. Now, but I also respect these people. They don't talk, they don't make noises. They are going to come up with something that will spoil, that will cripple all these things. But when they bring that clog in the wheel, of progress, are we going to notice that this is an agenda? This is an instrument to spoil this thing. Are we going to notice it? Because they've tried many things. They've tried so far that the man, what he invested in this thing, brewery, is now lower than that. The man is just spotless. You can't catch him. EFCC invited him. He brought all his documents. So you just can't fault him anywhere. So, but I am sure that before campaign starts, they will bring us something that we Southerners, because look at how they get what really picks Southerners. First, they know that we are educated. So they bring us something that appeals to our intellectual debate. Once they put it there, they are like, we are like dogs to them. They say the dogs and the baboon will be soaked in blood. So they just throw a bone that we cannot chew. They throw it to us. We'll be fighting over that bone. They've already eaten all the flesh from the bone and throw the bone for us. We'll be fighting over that bone. I will not allow you to get it. You not allow me to get it. And even if I get it, I can't chew the bone because the bone is too strong for my teeth. That's what we are doing. And before you know it, don't even be surprised. It is the same Igbo man that they will still buy and pay very well to bring out something that will bring all this thing down. But thank God we believe that this thing has gone beyond Igbo people. So we are look, my sister, something this 2023 is going to be, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy at all. It's not going to be easy because one, I saw article on one video trying to talk like Peter Obi, trying to become a motivational speaker like Peter Obi. It was so crude and was so unlike Peter Obi. He said on the whole microphone, don't they talk like Peter Obi. Tinubu too for don't start the whole microphone, but are the one that say, how we know if he carry flag, no if he carry microphone. So
you know that Northerners, they are not outspoken. Northerners are not outspoken.
No, they believe in the power of money, but then they are beginning to notice that money may not do the trick this time around, though. Money may not.
Yeah, they are not outspoken.
Truly, money may not do the trick this time.
I've never seen Northerners campaigning, meaningful campaign. I've never seen them. Buhari, look at Buhari. So it has been like that. But they are winning the elections.
Why would you attend a debate or go and do campaign when you can rig yourself in? Why now? Why waste your time? Why waste the time and energy to be talking? Say in 1967, the price of the Nigeria could generate 1,000 megawatts. 3 years, 50 years later, we can only generate 4 megawatts. But Egypt, we take aside that one. It's nothing. You want to tell an Hausa man that Nigeria could generate 45 megawatts, 45,000 megawatts instead of the 4,000 that. What you consider Aboki with that one? Aboki consider that one. Aboki, if you go sell sugar cane, come finish. He enter mosque, go pray. He go buy garo, one food they put soup on top, chop. He go mosque, go pray. He sleep. He pursue one girl for night. That they don't finish. So they are not interested in all these statistics. These statistics don't mean anything to them. They are just interested in politics. And the only thing they're interested in is Nigeria, Semalam.
Mr. Raka, let's look at the root cause of these problems that we are facing right now. The amalgamation of Nigeria. I don't know how they amalgamated so many tribal groups together at that time without looking at it critically. If these people can coexist, if they carry the same ideology, it's very important. You understand? You cannot amalgamate different ethnic groups together like that without factor in the coexistence of these people.
No, I think you two are getting it wrong. There was nothing wrong with the amalgamation. There was absolutely nothing wrong. When they left us with regional government. When they left us with regional government. We had the Southwest, Midwest, Southeast, and North. We had region, and everybody was living fine. Everybody was living fine. We didn't have any problem. The problem started with the Civil War. And what led to the Civil War? But let's not go into that because it will.
We have to go to that because today we are complaining. It's like we have a nation with different ideologies and we are conflicting each other. Can we really coexist? with what is going on. And we are complaining that Nigeria as a country is practically divided along tribal lines. So without looking at the amalgamation of Nigeria, how can we solve this puzzle? That is what I'm trying to say here. You know, when there's any problem, we look at the root cause of the problem. That is why I'm going back to
Yeah,
the
the root cause
amalgamation.
of the root cause of the problem. The root cause of the problem was when regional selfishness started creeping in. That was where the problem of Nigeria started. Sani was here one time. I think it was in my show. He said that, well, that they didn't know that it is possible to actually take Nigeria for a ride. That it was the Southeast that taught them. That was what he said. You get me? So when some people now felt that they can actually have more of Nigeria than what they actually had, that was where the lack of trust came in. Today, people don't trust the Igbos because you believe if you give Igbo, they might split the country in the quest of their Biafra, or they want to dominate the country. That trust, that distrust that started,
is there.
that was where the foundation of the distrust started. But then again, the question is, can Nigeria work together with this multilingual characterization that you can define Nigeria with? I would say yes, and a little bit of no. Now, we just need a detribalized leader that works fairly and equitably for everybody. Then people can start relating with what is being fair. If you're a Muslim man and you steal money, prison. If you're a Christian man and you steal money, prison. If you are my friend and you steal money, prison. And let me also tell you, part of the reason why a lot of these people are afraid of a Peter Obi, if a Peter Obi becomes president, I'm very sure that even if your Atiku is friend, if it is established you have stolen Nigerian money, you'll be indicted. So such
Mr. Raka, that is your own point of view.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. Sani, that is your point of view. Mr. Sani the other day and some other people are saying that these IPOB members are supporting Peter Obi, which means his candidacy is very dangerous and is posing threats to
Boko Haram.
Let me finish. So, you know, people are thinking otherwise. So you are thinking that Obi might be the man for the people, you understand, the tribalized kind of a leader. But other people are seeing it from the perspective of Biafra, that he has replaced the position of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm telling you what people are thinking, especially the Northerners.
Yeah. Now these are some of the hypocrisy that characterizes our nation. Now the North is desperate. They need to find something to bring Peter Obi down, just as they did with Jonathan. They are trying different narrative until they get one that sinks in. Now, if you say you want to nail Peter Obi for representing IPOB, why are you now excluding Buhari, who Boko Haram nominated as their spokesman? And it's not a place you can tolerate. You can tolerate the spokesman of Boko Haram as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but you cannot tolerate somebody you are speculating to be associated with IPOB to be president. It's just hypocrisy now. We have the spokesman of Boko Haram as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We might as well try a speculative member of IPOB as president of Nigeria.
Let's quickly look at their comments and allow people to call in. Many people have been calling. Please, if you are watching right now or you called before, call in now. The line is open for people to call in. Let's look at the comment people are leaving in the comment section. Oluwatishe said, as Anambra turns to will. No, please write your comment so that I can read it. It's not clear enough. Let me skip it. we all know that Buhari is sick and probably not aware of what is going on. That is what I said. The question is whether or not Buhari is conscious of the problems facing the country right now.
He is conscious. But let's leave. Let's jump down. Barry is very, very conscious. How can you?
Okay.
Then
So
you are
the
not
other
the
question,
president. Now. You're not the president. If you are not conscious of what is happening in the country, then why did you become the president? The president is supposed to be conscious. You are supposed to be. In fact, on the table of Mr. President, all the newspapers will be there. But they say they give you newspaper now cartoon in the cartoon section in the read.
Mr. Oraka, I remember during the NSAS protest, the governor of Lagos State came to Aso Rock to deliver a very sad news about the protest, what is going on in Lagos. Mr. President was laughing. He was laughing because he can't comprehend what the governor was trying to convey. So all those things we are looking at, thinking that he's not conscious of the problems facing the country. Whenever there's tragedy, there is an incident that the president is supposed to address the nation, he has not been doing so. So we just assume that he's not conscious. This man is not conscious of what is going on in the country because he's sick. We can see that Buhari is sick. And people, the Senate that's supposed to impeach him, they are not impeaching him because we don't understand what is going on. It's like we don't have a president in the country anymore, the way a president is not active. So let's look at the comments. Let's go ahead and look at the comment. Let me read this comment again. Has Anambra turned to the US or Canada? So how can Peter Obi turn only Anambra State to US and Canada? Because when you look at it, no governor can fix Nigeria, can fix a state to be like Canada or US. You understand? When the head is rotty, the body is also expected to be rotty as well. When the federal government is not doing the needful, what do you expect? Do you think one governor can just turn a state to turn it into like Canada or America? It's impossible. Okay, so the federal allocation might not be enough, and there are other hindrances, you understand, that can also cause all these things. It cannot. Let's just skip that. Mr. Rack, I will read it for you. You have to take it as well. Exactly. Anambra looks like a typical Nigerian state. So, Mr. Raka, what do you think? People are saying that
even Lagos, there are slums in Lagos that they claim that Tinubu transformed, whatever. Lagos was the former capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lagos was built with the money of Nigeria until the capital was moved to Abuja. So there's really no big deal. Now there's a little to which you can do with the available resources that we have. Now, we are not saying somebody should come and turn Nigeria to Canada overnight, but you can lay the precedents. You can lay the foundation upon which subsequent leaders will build upon. And one of the precedents that we have, we want fairness. We want people who will not steal and loot our funds. We want people who will radiate confidence in the masses that, yes, somebody indeed cares for them. I think those are the precedents that we should build now. So you may not have turned Anambra to Canada. In fact, it will be a wish. You get me? If it will be a wish horse rather to ride on, to expect that Anambra would be like yes. But the effort put to change the state should be something to emulate, even though if at the end of the day Anambra didn't be like Canada, but there was an effort put, and the efforts are just, the efforts are legitimate. That's what we should be looking at.
Yes. You cannot turn only one state to Canada and US, for instance. You cannot do that.
The money Canada makes in a month, Anambra State will make it for about 3 years.
So in order to turn a state into Canada, every state in Nigeria should be developed. You understand? You cannot develop only one state in Nigeria to just turn it into New York. You understand? Overnight, you cannot do that unless the structure is
that the only comment?
No, not the only comment. Let me read it. There is nothing like Northern Agenda. The name topic is completely wrong. Mr. Raka, there's nothing like Northern Agenda. So Um, you know, all these years you fight Nnamdi Kanu. This was what Nnamdi Kanu was saw. Please, I won't read that. You are right, sir. The Fulani believe and them are the right people to rule them, start teaching them what is power from the age of 5 years. Okay? The sad is part of the cause of the problem we are in today.
Yeah,
The
that I
Igbo,
agree.
the Igbos once had the power, and what did they do with it? Okay,
So maybe
we all
maybe
know.
that's why Peter Obi wants to come and fix what they spoiled.
Peter Obi want to come and repair what they spot. Okay. So that is the comment for now. That is the most meaningful comment I saw there. Somebody is on the phone. Go ahead. Please introduce yourself on where you are calling from and take it from there.
I'm calling from the Gambia in West Africa.
Oh Lord, where are you from? Are you a Nigerian?
Yeah, I'm a pure Nigerian, unadulterated Nigerian.
Good. What's your name, sir?
Omasangiwa.
Oh, okay. So go ahead. You know, we are discussing about another agenda in Nigeria. So
that's not what I'm looking at. You see, the problem with Nigeria, from my own perspective as a Nigerian who has traveled a bit wide, it is the same class of people who are mismanaging the country. Right from independence till this very day, it's the same class of people. Not until that class is overthrown, Nigeria will not know this. When I say overthrown, I don't. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I hear you clearly. Crystal clear.
Yes. When I say overthrown, I don't mean overthrowing the government. If you kill Buhari today, or the government is overthrown, this rot will still continue. And these people have been handing power over from one generation to another, for belonging to that same class, is what we should try to overthrow. Not a question of changing government through election or whatever it is. I do not believe there is need for any 2023 election, because the problems of the country, you are not even addressing it in your analysis right now. The issue of corruption, tribalism, and institutional decay. These are the three main problems rocking Nigeria today. Nobody is talking anything about it. Instead, whenever we run into problems in Nigeria, it is the same people who created the problems that we run back to for solutions to the same problem they have created. So how do we move forward? It is not possible, because the interest of the ruling class and the interest of the nation are not the same. You see, the Benin people, you are a Benin woman from your accent, I know. You Benin people, you have a saying, I make poor mass enough evil. The English people say half bread is better than none, but you Benin people believe that none will be better than half bread. This marriage they call Nigeria can no longer be sustained for one simple reason. We are a colossal disappointment to the whole of Africa.
Oh no.
In the Gambia where I live here, please, if I'm talking too much, let me know, because
Go ahead. No, talk.
We want you to physically appear on this program. Please come and join Mr. Oraka. I think Mr. Oraka, you would like to have him on the program, right?
No problem.
Yes.
Okay, let me finish what I'm saying. You see, in the Gambia where I live here, the people look up to Nigeria as a godfather. Whenever they have problem with any nation, they want a situation whereby they will go and report to Nigeria. Oh, please, Nigeria, Argentina is disturbing us. Then Nigeria will warn Argentina. The Gambia is our sphere of influence. Keep away from there, or we teach you a lesson. But we are unable to do that. Gambian youths, they go to Europe through the back way, they die in the Mediterranean and in the desert and in the Atlantic Ocean. Unfortunately, they would have gone to Nigeria just by road, walk and get their money and come back to the Gambia. But we are unable to get ourselves organized. In my opinion, there is need for us to pack up this marriage we call Nigeria. Nigeria cannot exist in this fashion. We are behaving irresponsibly to ourselves and to Africans in general. See the little we did in South Africa, see the monumental accomplishment we achieved within a very short time. Now, I mean, look at what happened at Owo recently. It is, I mean, it's unthinkable. And nobody is even worried about it. In northern Nigeria, bandits just go to schools, cut away children, and nothing happens. Let me put it to you, here in the Gambia, such a thing can never happen. So the irresponsibility is getting too much, and we just have to do something about it. If you are waiting for Europe to help you to solve this problem, you will never see the promised land, let alone getting there. Because all these are part of colonial agenda to keep Africans backward, for them to exploit whatever minerals they want to exploit and get what they want. And at the end of the day, we are the losers. We can never be the winners under this arrangement. Nigeria must be packed up. The map of Europe has been redrawn so many times to suit development from one stage to another. There's no need for the country to exist in this fashion. I was listening to a TV broadcast some time ago. Somebody referred to Nigerians as two set of people. There is a set of Nigerians who are anxious to join the space race. They want to go to outer space. And there is another set of Nigerians who are racing to Kabul, Afghanistan. These two sets are incompatible. No matter how hard we try, we strive, we will never see the promised land, let alone getting there. Thank you very much, my sister.
I like that scenario.
I like that last statement.
Yes.
So some people want to go to Kabul. Some people want to go to space.
What's it, Baba? Well, now we do by program now. We want you to appear physically on the program. Okay?
On my yacht, I'll call you later and we'll arrange it.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Subsequent editions, not this very one.
Not today. Probably on Sunday. On Sunday.
Okay, it might wait this Sunday.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you, sir. Yeah, bye. I'm sorry that I'm speaking Benin. You know, I'm from the Benin Kingdom. I am from the Benin Kingdom. I'm a well-grounded. I'm a well-grounded girl from the Benin Kingdom. You know, operating Nebo TV. So, yes, let's continue with our discussion. This man has said it all, Mr. Oraka.
No, he's very right. I particularly like the part where he said Nigeria, and he's very, very correct. That was straight to the he needed there. The truth is that, and it is more pronounced in the north, there are people who want to turn Nigeria to Kabul, where people move with gun. Where they behead people for any slightest provocation, they just shoot you and they kill you. And then there are those who want to go to outer space. So there are people. Imagine in Nigeria, people banning mannequin. That a human being can see the breast of a mannequin and get erection by just seeing the pointed breast of a mannequin. In this 21st century.
Mr. Oraka, please do. It's okay.
That the state government, as a policy, is banning mannequin. That people should not sell clothes and use mannequin. Now, wow. In fact, that they brought Miss Nigeria to Abuja, they rioted and ensured that it didn't hold in Abuja. Because they own the country, they tell you what to do and what not to do.
You know, one thing is not very clear to me. Nigeria as a country was funded by the Europeans. You know, upon Europeans are the norms and values of the Europeans. You understand? So if these people are resisting Western civilization, how can we coexist? I still don't get it. I don't get it.
That's the idea. That's what Boko Haram means. Boko Haram means anything about the West should be forbidden. They should be forbidden, I mean. Anything about the West.
Yes. Mr. Sani, who said he went to school in London, in the UK, came to this program, giving us stories about the North as if we are speaking from another planet. You understand? So I begin to wonder why. Why are we in the same country? Why are we in the same country if we are not carrying the same ideology? So democracy is the hallmark of any Western society. If there are some group of people who don't believe in democracy or the proper democracy, why are we in the same country? You understand? People who have different definition of poverty, who believes that to be a beggar in the streets is not based on because you are poor. You understand? That is what he told me the other day. You know. So for me, in the West, the definition of poverty encompasses somebody who is begging in the street. But according to Mr. Sani, he said depend on how we define poverty. That beggars
so how did he define poverty? How is he defining poverty? How did he define his own poverty? Poverty is inability to get basic needs. Simply put.
So to be a beggar in the streets is not considered as poverty according to him. So I was wondering, why are we existing? Why are we in the same country?
In Kano, when you go to Kano, the beggars are everywhere. In fact, they move in groups. You see them like 15 or 16. They will go and be picking remnants of food to eat. And such a sight does not disgust. There's a story about this thing. I was traveling to Adama someday. So we got to Gombe. There's a place you branch to eat, then you continue. So the moment they serve you your food, this Almajiri will be standing by waiting to see whether you remain your food. So the moment I noticed them, I decided to eat every single grain of rice in my plate. Lick it, and I started licking the plate. I'll lick the plate and I'll do like this. Carry the plate, I was licking it. When I finished it, I now carried sand and poured in the plate. Took sand and poured, and I shook the plate. And I kept it. Deliberately, I did it. So when I was driving away, they started stoning my car. And then one of the stones hit my rear mirror. I had to drive back and told the older men that were there, why are they sitting there and they're watching these children stoning my car? And then the other one said, why did I not remain food for them? I told them, they born them to make I feed them. When they born them, I'm putting for the plant.
Would have given them,
why?
Give what is God.
Make I feed them strong. I'll feed them strong to get the energy to cut my neck tomorrow.
No, you would have given just.
No, I know they give. If they are doing something, if they come and they are cutting fingernails, or they say they want to wash my screen, before I came, they had already washed my windscreen, and they say, "Oh God, find us something." I can give them money. Or they start washing my tire, or they brought my shoe to at least do. You see, you have to condition people that your reward comes from labor. You cannot just go and be shaking plate like this in front of you and then they solicit for money. It takes away the ability or the mind to know that you have to work. I like the Igbos for one thing. Every child born knows that when you finish university, there's one of my friends. The moment he finished university, the father took him to a man that sells electronics and paid for the man to teach him how to sell electronics. So they understand the reward of labor. But you cannot tell me to patronize people who believe that you can just go and beg. Those same people that are begging you, if there's crisis and they are killing Christians, if you like, let it just be that you just gave them 1,000 and no, and they are killing. That person you gave 1,000 will be the first to stab you.
Exactly. No. The civilization that's lacking, and no. I don't understand. The northern leaders, how come they are not promoting education and civilization?
How would you promote education? You want them to be, after getting the education, to start reasoning like our southern brothers, where if you give them truth, they will start. It will be a topic to exercise who speaks the best grammar. Actually, having looked at the scenario, I would say, I don't want to be biased. I don't want to be religiously biased. Having looked at the scenario, it actually inundates the macrocosm of the situation that clearly undulates our psychological circumference. And therefore, you know that the krinkun krakun, you just, like your brother Patrick, you just end up entertaining people, and you see they say, they'll start clapping. Hey, gosh, hey, yeah, Turenchi. Ah, this man's having English. Oh. Just fool yourself, because you know at the end of the day, it's not about grammar. It's about interests. Right now, the North, they have a northern interest, which is good. Why can't we also have a southern interest?
So they are happy, they are content that they are raising illiterate
yes,
children.
Now, because
those
North. Illiterate children you are saying, they are in the class of the Talakawas. They are the proletariats. They are meant for numbers. So they feed them to remain in that class. They tell them not to go to school because the class of the elite does not employ people easily. So there are people whose family have been identified to remain elite. You identified to remain poor. And surprisingly, those who have been designated to be poor accept it. Those who are designated to be rich, the poor recognizes them. And therefore, that's why you hear things like Allah, God should give to Sani so that he gives to the poor. Because the poor are contented to remain that way. It's a very, very lousy way of thinking. You get what I'm saying? It's a very, very lousy way of thinking.
It's a pity. It's a pity. So, you know, I continue to ask questions of why we should be living in the same country. I know that's why I refer to the amalgamation of Nigeria as the root cause of this problem, you know.
Even if they say they should break the country now, let me be very honest. I really don't want to talk about breaking up Nigeria, but if we break up Nigeria, how are we going to break it? Obviously, we can't stay with, you will not agree to stay with Igbos. If we stay with the Yorubas, tomorrow we also cry that they are dominating us, because typical of Africans, once one tribe sees that their kinds are more, they tend to abuse the privilege. It was the problem with Rwanda.
We cannot break. Me, I'm not.
No, not that I'm saying we should break. But even if we break, let's say we even contemplate that we break, it's not going to work. So let us.
No, we don't have to break.
The Nigeria now, from what I'm seeing, Nigeria now is a project. Now it might be complex, but it's a project. Now these are the peculiarities with Nigeria. We have too many tribes. We have many tribes. Sorry, we have many tribes, and we have many religions, and we have illiterates. We have semi-illiterates. We have different regions with different climatic. We have different cultures. We have. So we take the stock of all this uniqueness and then find a mechanism that enables these differences work. Because Nigeria is not the only country with all these attributes. USA is multilingual. We have Afro-American, Indian American, Russian American, this American, and they are all loyal to America and protects the interests of America. So there must be a system that enables these people to work for the interests of America and not for the interests of Afro-American or the interests of white, the interests of black, the interests of gray or white or yellow or blue. So there must be a system. So we want technocrats who will come and sit and discuss the unique problems of Nigeria and discover ways to solve it.
Mr. Raka, it's like we have some interesting comments here. He said, Asaba Dragon said, good news coming. The Yoruba nation have been recognized by United Nations. The news is in Arise News.
Oh, that one is talking about Odua Republic. That one is
the Yoruba nation.
That's what I'm saying now. The West is happy that if by keeping us together, will continue to make us disunited. They will support that we remain together. Southern Sudan cried of marginalization, and then the European Union came in and ensured that they break. Today, you are not hearing about crisis in Northern Sudan. It is still the Southern Sudan that has been crying for separation, that are still hitting the news of killing, kidnapping, adopting, blowing, shooting, and killing. So it is easy to shout, let us break, let us break, let us break. And when you break, you will still be shouting that break in the new place that you have been. Let us break. Where you want to break to? To pieces, Abi. So I still think
I want to change this Yoruba nation.
eh?
Yoruba nation that was the Yoruba nation that was recognized by United Nations.
Forget all those things. They don't recognize. The United Nations recognizes every nation.
How can United Nations recognize? I don't. Let me see. United Nations recognizes the Yoruba nation as an entity. Okay, let me see. There's nothing here. Oh. It said Arise TV. There's nothing on Arise TV. I'm not sure. So from the person that left the comment, oh my God, Mr. Oraka left. All right. So I think we have to end this program right now, and probably we'll come back in the evening. If not tomorrow, Saturday, tomorrow morning we'll come back again. All right. So for the Yoruba nation that was recognized by United Nations, I'm not sure how reliable that was. Oh, Mr. Raka is here. Mr. Raka is here. Mr. Raka is here. Hold on. Yeah, Mr. Raka. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I was just talking. I didn't know that you logged out. I was researching on this news about the Yoruba nation. I think it's a fake news. I couldn't find anything there. The person that left the comment should send us a link from Arise TV where the news was reported. So there's
One
nothing
thing
like
I
that.
must use your program, one thing I will use your channel to say is to tell the Yoruba nation to be more considerate of the southern region's interests, or to the interests of the southern region. One thing I've noticed that the Yoruba man is one of the most difficult people that hardly thinks outside that southwest when it comes to politics. They always consider the interests of southwest and not the interests of the entire region. And I think
Depend on the leader. What about if the leader is more inclusive? You know, the
yeah,
people
that's what I'm
mind.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And I think it is because of that discovery that Yoruba man always think about himself. I think that is one of the tools that the Northerners used to grab this unfettered alliance with the Southwest. Say, okay, come, let's get this power. If you get it, I'm going to give you this. I'll give you 3 ministers, or I will not touch the seaport, or I will not do this. So it's always about we, Tiwani, we. We cannot, we should stop thinking like that. I
You
am
know,
an
Mr.
okay,
Raka, before we enter this program, you know, we should discuss about the southeast, the southeastern region of Nigeria, that power has not been given to them over these years. You understand? In order for us to live, coexist peacefully in Nigeria, you understand, to be inclusive politically in the country, you know, they should give chance to any Easterner to rule the
why.
country.
Yeah, and I think that's why you see part of the reason why I'm supporting Peter Obi is one of these reasons, because there are so many things he's going to solve. For instance, this zoo, Biafra, we die off.
Exactly.
We die off, and you can already see the signal. The number of zoo that people type on social media have reduced.
Yes.
People hardly talk about zoo again, and people hardly talk except for that man in Finland that still wants to be eating money from this franchise, this Biafra agitation franchise. That's still trying to get followers. But this Peter Obi movement has shown that nobody really wants to go anywhere. It is because of the injustices, the unfairness, and outright inequity of Nigerian policies that are probably provocating these agitations. You understand me? So if we
Exactly.
can have a leader that say, okay, I'm going to do everything based on equal representation. But then the truth is that the Hausa man does not believe in equality. No, 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 no. For somebody who is in a feudal system can never, it's like telling them to see themselves as equal with those that they see beneath them. To them, everybody is beneath them. They are the elite. They are the elite. They are the chosen one by God or by Allah. So that equity and fairness is going to be difficult. I think the Southwest is partially guilty of equity and fairness too. Because when you are talking about fairness, no Yoruba man should be talking about presidency coming to Yorubas. You have had a good taste of presidency since 1999. You have had a good, fair share. Obasanjo was a military president and a civilian president and a Yoruba man. So if you have a spirit of fairness, you cannot be talking about Tinubu. More so that Tinubu, at his current state, does not fit the bill of a presidential hopeful. So we must run away. This ethnic sentimentalization is more rampant in the Southwest and maybe somewhat too in the Southeast. This tribalism, it's there.
If PDP and APC can agree, if APC and PDP can agree to nominate an Easterner in their political parties, I bet you preference will be given to an Eastern person to rule Nigeria. So these people are too self-centered. Nigerian politicians are too self-centered, especially the Northerners. They don't want to hear anything about the Easterner coming into power. Which is, look at Mr. Sani coming to this program that no. He doesn't want to hear anything about the Igbos at all.
The problem with Sani is he hates Igbo. He will tell you no, but he hates Igbo. And I'll tell you that the reason why Sani will not vote for Peter Obi is not because he doesn't have the conviction that Peter Obi will do well. To him, Peter Obi's failure is number one, he's Igbo, so he should go, he's Arne. I can tell you that Sani didn't support Goodluck Jonathan too, and not because Goodluck Jonathan was not good. Goodluck Jonathan's cry was he was Southerner and he was Arne and he should go. This you cannot separate Sani from religion. It's not possible. It's not possible. So in Sani's binoculars, everything is seen from the binoculars of Islam. But he will deny it. But then that is who he is.
It's not good. A particular group of people have been excluded from the Nigerian politics from ruling the country over these years, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. People are so self-centered. Nigerian politicians' greediness and self-centeredness is, I think they have to give opportunity for an Igbo person to rule Nigeria. I will keep saying that they deserve to rule Nigeria over these years. PDP and APC, because those are the two strong political parties in Nigeria. There's no way Labour Party can compete with them. They will support, they will oppress them. So what we are pleading right now is for APC and PDP to nominate an Easterner.
I still disagree that there is no way Labour can. I disagree totally. At the end of the day, it is not the buildings or the structure that are going to vote. It is people. So no matter how they rig it, there's some kind of this you just can't rig. There's some, look, even someone like Wike is angry.
Mr. Raka, there is a ring here in the north. Tell me how Labour Party can strive in the north. Tell me.
You don't need to win north. You see, I've told you, you are still a victim of this northern narrative that the north has more population. If the whole of the south gives Peter Obi their votes,
and the Osat will not give him. Mr. Raka, let's be realistic here. The Osat cannot give Peter Obi. We have PDP there. We have APC. Tinubu is there. How can the Osat give votes to? We are running a democratic government.
If I didn't say they will, I say if. You see, for me, I don't There was a time nobody thought they could bring PDP out. You forget how PDP was strong before. APC was formed in less than 6 months, and they brought PDP down. APC was not. There was no APC in 1999.
Mr. Oraka.
Wait, madam. There was no APC in 1999. True or false?
Yes.
We didn't have APC in 1999. We didn't have APC in 2003. APC was a party that was created 8 years ago.
Mr. Raka, compare how APC was created with a Labour Party. Those that created APC, I have the history. Let me explain. I have the history of how APC was created. APC was created at that time specifically to remove Jonathan from power. And those that created APC are the cabals. Look at the people, the caliber of people that created APC in Nigeria. Go back to the history. I did the history the other time when I was doing analysis about Adam Soshomole. Look at the caliber of people, former presidents, president of Senate. Look at the caliber of people that form APC. They did that specifically to remove Jonathan away from power. Most of the members of PDP, they come to APC when they created APC. You forgot, Mr. Raka. Compare that with APC was funded by the cabals themselves. So forget it. We cannot even compare that with
Where was the cabal when youths came together and formed NSAS and took over the country? Where were the cabals? You seem to be forgetting the will of resolve, the resolve of the people. You forget that no matter how cabals are strong, once the people discover that they own power, there's nothing any cabal can do. There's nothing any money can do. And I bet it's not theory. You are forgetting when the will, you see, there was no will of the people when they voted Obasanjo. There was no will of people when they voted Jonathan. There was no will of when they voted Buhari. You understand me? Now, people, P-E-O-P-L-E, the people, government of the people, by the people, for the people. These people are now aware that the problem why they are suffering is APC and PDP. APC and PDP, APC came together. It was people that went to the polling unit to vote. It wasn't APC that went to the party. It was people. Why do you not have faith in the people?
Mr. Raka,
you seem to have been conditioned by the way things happened before, and you think it's still going to happen like that. First of all, the electoral law has been amended. The electoral law has been amended. Votes will not be carried in a paper bag and transported to collation center. The votes will be counted at the polling unit and sent electronically straight to this. People in your TV station can see the votes as they are being translated. You can actually go to the website and be seeing the votes as they are being translated. Look, at this point in time, I will tell the masses to have faith. The only thing we have for now, we should not be creating narrative that disappoints people from choosing what their future should be like. We cannot give narrative that suggests that these people in power are beyond removal. We cannot give narrative that suggests that APC and PDP are untouchable. We cannot give narrative that there's a system that protects them and we are doomed forever. We need to give the masses hope. We need to tell them that yes, with their resolve as a people with one goal, no cabal can buy them out. That is the type of narrative I want to hear.
Okay, the narrative.
I don't want to hear narrative that caliber of people or caliber of anything.
Mr. Oraka, the narrative you are giving us right now is like in Nigeria, we are very inclusive. We are so united that the voice of anyone in the southern region is the same voice that you will hear in the north, in Sokoto. The way people think in Edo State is the same thing that people think in Kano, for instance. If, for instance, we are really united, we have a one Nigeria, in practice, not in theory. One Nigeria is only in theory. Let's be realistic here.
Okay, I want to be realistic with you.
As people are clamoring, let me finish. As people are clamoring for Obi in the south, in the east, and the same thing we are seeing the same thing in Kano, in Sokoto. You understand? Everywhere, all across the country. I will tell you, yes, this man has captured the minds of Nigerians. But when it comes to those who are clamoring and supporting Obi right now, it's only the Southeasterners. The rest states in Nigeria, they are not for Peter Obi like that. If you think that, look at the Southwest. Let's be realistic, Mr. Oraka. I understand that we try to.
That is not be realistic. It is not in Ekiti State, an election that was just concluded. An unknown SDP, SDP. Do you know the party SDP? SDP beat PDP to the point that your governor in Edo State, your own governor in Edo State, found it worrisome to say that the establishment is failing and that something needs to be done urgently. He even made reference to obedience. He is aware that the establishment is failing and that it is in your governor's word. He said that it is no longer going to be business as usual. That is your governor, who is more political than me and you put together, and who is a member of PDP, acknowledging the fact that there might be chance. He's angry that PDP of a whole PDP didn't not only win the election, couldn't even emerge as second. An unknown party called SDP edged out a PDP. It's like you are taking for granted the feelings of the people, and so far the only parameter with which you are judging the resolve of the people is through social media. You have not been on ground to sample opinion. Because of you, I deliberately did a survey on ground. I didn't plan the people. I didn't prepare the people. I just went and were asking them. I asked Plateau, I asked Hausa, I asked Yoruba. It's in your inbox there. And they all said one thing. So, well, I thank God we'll be here. We'll be here.
If we really have one Nigeria in practice, if we have one Nigeria in practice, because the way you are speaking now, it said that, in Nigeria, we all have the same
we might not be one Nigeria in practice. We might not be one Nigeria in practice, but we are definitely one Nigeria in experience. I can tell you that the experience of buying rice at an expensive price does not have a different language to the Hausa man. The difference in buying the hardship in buying petrol to fill a car does not have a different language to the Edo person. That you cannot get power supply regularly in your house does not have a different language. So we may have our differences as Nigerians, we may have our tribal bias, we may have our religious bias, but we have one language now that is keeping everybody together, and that is the experience of the failures of APC and PDP. And for now, it may mean nothing to you, but thank God we are here. So you get me. I will remind you. I will take your mind back to when you didn't have faith. There's a movement.
Okay, let's just assume that one Nigeria, we are living in a country.
We don't have to be one Nigeria for people. We don't have to be one Nigeria for people who are experiencing the hardship to know who to vote for. Right now, I can assure you that yes, even where I drank here, where I went to relax yesterday, there's one Igbo guy. I don't speak with him. They were angry for the fact that I wasn't supporting Nnamdi Kanu. But when we brought Peter Obi matter, we were all giving one bottle of beer, giving one bottle of this. So there's a language now. We may not be one in Nigeria, but there's a language that everybody speaks. And that's the experience of the failures of these two parties and these old people. We need to take them off. We can't keep recycling the same people that are the situation, that the problem of the situation. We can't be selling narrative to say that they are unbeatable. We can't sell the narrative that to say that we only make them to become confident when they hear this, that we can't remove them. What do we do? That we can't remove them, then we should stay and remain in the country the way it is. Let's give ourselves hope. This is your realism. This is your reality. I don't buy this reality. I don't want to fall in that reality.
Mr. Oraka, I understand that these people are not capable, but the way we are approaching it in this upcoming election, I don't think we are going anywhere.
How are we approaching it?
Listen. I was expecting Peter Obi to nominate a charismatic northerner, a Muslim. He
But
didn't
the
do
process
that.
is still on now.
So
The prayer,
how do you think
is still on.
Christian from the southern region?
But you told me last time. I told you that is just a nominal this thing. There are still talks going on with NM people with Kwankwaso. They have not finished.
Okay.
That is just a nominal this thing. We all know that a Christian ticket will not run.
Okay.
But again, even at that, even at Christian
Mr. Raka, what you don't understand, I'm basing my own analysis on the running mate that he just chose. So I don't know until he nominates another person from the north, someone charismatic
it's high time.
With the running mate that Peter Obi just nominated, that running mate, I think we are going nowhere. I know that Peter Obi is the most capable person that can rescue us from this destruction.
So why don't you know that he's the one that is capable? Why sell narrative that says that we are wasting our time?
He's capable. It does not mean that he's going to win the election. Because for him to go nominate such a running mate from the side, Christian, and somebody will come to social media be telling Nigerians that Peter Obi will win this upcoming. Please, let's be realistic. You know, one thing about Nigerians,
it's okay for Tinubu to nominate Muslim.
They will start insulting you for telling them
it's okay for Tinubu to nominate Muslim. It's a crime for Christian to nominate Christian.
Let me give you one theory. In the past election,
no. Answer that one first. It is okay for Tinubu to nominate a Muslim running mate and present us with a Muslim candidate. But it's a crime for Peter Obi to present a Christian candidate.
Listen,
you know the population of Christians in Nigeria.
Raka, you are not saying it well. You have to say the truth to Nigerians. I hate people that will come and be deceiving Nigerians. I don't like it. Tinubu, you are talking about Tinubu, but he nominated running mates in the north. He didn't nominate somebody from the south. Please, let's be realistic here. You know, I hate when we say, let me tell you.
What part of Peter Obi nominated that this as a nominal candidate because they couldn't beat the deadline of running mate? What part of that is you not thinking in?
Let me give you one example. In the past election, I was on this program telling Nigerians that there's no way Omoyele will win that election, the past election, I mean. So many Nigerians, especially those social media users, we are saying that Sowore must win the election. I said, how can Sowore win this election? So majority of them were insulting me. If you see, I still have those comments. I didn't delete any of those comments. They say he must win this. One man came out on social media so loud, he conducted an online election. Let me tell you. Then he asked people to vote and added some names, some of the candidates together with Omoyele. Could you believe that Sowore won the online election that was conducted by this man? So I brought this man to this program. I interviewed him, asking him a few questions about the online result. You know, he was using the online election to predict who's going to win the general election in Nigeria, saying that Sowore is expected to win the general election because he won the online one. And many Nigerians, those who were using social media users, were very happy, content, and they were even congratulating Sowore that he won, is going to be the next president of Nigeria. Just imagine, this man was able to brainwash many Nigerians, especially the social media users, that Sowore is going to win the election. And I was here trying to ask him some critical questions about the election, and they insulted hell out of me. I still have the video right now. So I'm still here now arguing about the chances of Peter Obi because of his running mate. I know for sure that Peter Obi is the most capable candidate, but the way we are approaching it, it seems that we are going nowhere in this upcoming election unless we are very strategic, not with the way they are approaching it right now. So I'm saying it. If you like, insult me, I don't care. I will tell you exactly the way it is. I have no brother, I have no sister.
I will tell you something that happened in 2011. In 2011, Buhari, this coconut president, dared Nigeria that Muslims should vote for Muslims and Christians should vote for Christians. Buhari dared Nigeria, and every Christian across the world, across Nigeria, voted for Goodluck Jonathan on the basis of that threat. And the outcome was that for everyone vote Buhari got, Goodluck Jonathan got 2. I am foreseeing a scenario that, are you aware that Anyway, let me not spoil the strategy, but something is about to happen, and I want to take me. I'm not saying Peter Obi will win, no, but the way it is very easy to dismiss him as if he will not make any impact. Let me tell you, in that time that we are talking about Sowore, how many of the political parties bothered to the campaign Sowore? Nobody talked to the PDP and APC then. We're not talking about Atiku. Had never talked about Sowore. I'm sure Atiku doesn't even know Sowore. I'm sure Buhari doesn't even know who Sowore is. But at this point in time, these two parties are talking about one individual. As a matter of fact, APC doesn't talk about PDP. PDP doesn't talk about APC. Their campaign point is Labour Party, an unknown Labour Party. So I am not saying Peter Obi will win, but don't discount it. And for goodness sake, let's not give the narrative that these two people are unbeatable. Then we shouldn't be talking now. Then we should just sit back and relax. We should stop telling people to go and get their PVC. We should stop telling people to go and vote. We should just sit back and just realize that, well, we are doomed to have these two criminals as those two criminal parties as our parties. You understand me? Let's give Nigeria hope that they can do this. Let's tell Nigerians that even though a certain group of people have held Nigerian by the throat, we can do it. Go and get your PVC and vote for your right candidate. If you are convinced Tinubu is your choice, vote Tinubu. If you are convinced Atiku is your choice, vote Atiku. If you are convinced Obi, Kwankwaso, whatever their name is, but please don't vote on the basis of religion or tribe.
Mr. Raka, okay, let me answer your statement. You know, if Peter Obi can change his running mates and nominate someone from the north, then
it's like you just. I told you that running mate is nominal. What nominal?
Okay. I know it's nominal, but we are basing.
No, don't be. You keep on the running mate is nominal. They've not finished it. They've not finalized it. I can bet you that.
What about you? You are basing your conclusion of something that is not existing. So I'm basing on what is existing right now. You are saying that it's nominal. No, the person that you are saying nominal, you might end up not nominating any other.
It is nominal. It is a nominal candidate. No, that's not the vibe.
I'm basing on my analysis on what is in front of me right now. So
why would you base on something where do you want the man to be the vice? Do you want him to? How can Peter Obi pick Donny Okikpe as vice in Nigerian politics? You yourself, if they tell you that eventually Peter Obi pick Donny Okikpe as his vice, you yourself, would you agree?
Okay.
I told you they are negotiating. Labour Party and NNP, they are negotiating. But they've not. Hold on. Kwankwaso is insisting that he wants to be the running mate, while Peter Obi be vice. And then Peter Obi saying no, he wants to be running mate, while Kwankwaso be vice. But I know that Kwankwaso will not want, because to the core north, being vice to a southerner is like an insult to their personality. That's it. So before then, INEC had given a deadline for candidates to produce their running mate. And the constitution didn't say once you pick a running mate, it becomes a running mate for life. Nowhere in the constitution it said that. You understand me? Even when the campaign is on, you can still change the running mate. What if the person falls sick? If the running mate come out and say that, well, owing to illness, he cannot continue as running mate and he steps down. I mean, forget the concept of. I've told you, you keep bringing this. I say it is a nominal. This is not a final. This thing. I know where the constitution said that because Peter Obi choose Okowa, he cannot change it again. Even when the campaign is going on, Okowa can say that he has a health condition and he cannot continue this race. He steps down and they'll pick somebody else. The constitution says that it has to come from the person, not me again. Me that chose you, I've expressed my constitutional right by choosing you. But you that I chose, you can opt out at any point in time, not be prison. It's not kiri-kiri. So this guy, I don't want. Look, for me, if we believe this guy is the most capable, let's give Nigerians hope and say that yes, it is possible to get capable hands to rule Nigerians. But when we keep telling them that yes, we believe that this person is capable, but the system is impregnable, then we are back. You are just telling them that we are condemned to be like this.
I'm saying that the way we are approaching it, that's what I'm saying, that nominating a running mate from the South will not work for us.
We agree that, and I'm sure that those who nominated,
and that is what I'm explaining. You know,
and those who nominated, those who nominated Doyin Okupe, you also know it. But I'm assure you that I'm sure. Have you no? Every time, have you noticed that all the posters in all the post Obi posters on this thing, have you noticed that they don't put Doyin Okupe by the side? All the posters of Peter Obi on social media, have you noticed that they don't put Doyin Okupe by the side? Does that tell you that they know that Doyin Okupe is not the running mate yet? For now, any poster you see Peter Obi, you will never see Doyin Okupe by the side. But when you see Atiku, you will see Okowa by the side. When you see Tinubu, you see the other man by the side. So I've told this severally. Every time you bring, I told that Doyin Okupe is a nominal candidate, is not settled for yet. They are still waiting for their conclusion between.
What I'm trying to say here, we want a candidate that is popular. When you go to Sokoto, for instance, that candidate will be popular there. When you go to like Ondo State, the same candidate will be popular. Such candidates can win the minds of all Nigerians across different ethnic lines. That is why
Peter Obi they are trying to merge with NNPP.
That candidate that will go to Sokoto, for instance, will go to Sokoto, you will see the crowd, organic crowd. We're talking about organic crowd. And the person will go to Ondo, you will see the organic crowd. The person will go to Kano, the person will go to Lagos. So such candidates will overwhelm PDP and APC. That is why I want Peter Obi to choose a charismatic leader, politician in the north as a running mate, that when he's there in Sokoto, for instance, with the running mates, it will be charismatic. You will see the organic crowd. When it's in Lagos, the same thing like that. You will see that this APC and PDP can be overwhelmed by the popularity.
Yeah, you are right, sir. But let's see what happens.
So that is what when you go pick one candidate, one running mates in the south. You know, I know he needs to change it as soon as possible. He needs to change it. So that is what I'm trying to say. Maybe you don't understand me. That is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, my battery will soon go down. Oh God.
So yes, I think we have to end this program right now. Mr. Raka, thank you.
Nobody's calling in again.
Nobody's calling in. You know, guys, you know, that is how I always argue with Mr. Raka. Even when I was bringing Mr. Daniel to this program, the same thing, we always argue. I can't be sitting here and just be listening or
Mr. Daniel, I may like, you may do something I hate you may do something that I don't like today. You can tell me, you may do something, but I cannot use, because of what you and a few people did, to generalize a hatred for everybody. I don't do that. So when I see somebody, it's good to hate, but something you know about hate is that hate is like a drug. Once you keep allowing it to enter, it eats you and eats you to a point whereby reason makes no sense to you. Because everything you talk will come out of that hate. And once you allow hate to get to a level, you begin to speak bias. Nnamdi Kanu has offended a lot of people. Nnamdi Kanu has offended the Yorubas, has offended the Edo people, has offended the Robos, has offended a lot of people. IPOB has offended countless of people on social media. Me in particular, I am the worst hit of Nnamdi Kanu and his IPOB stooges. Worst hit. But that will not blind my eye from seeing something good that comes from these people. But in his own case, he doesn't want to see anything because you hate Nnamdi Kanu. They are killing people. They are burning people with fire. They are burning people with tire in Lagos. They are burning people with tire in Kano. They are burning people with tire in Kaduna. They are burning people with tire everywhere. You cannot say burning people with tire in Igbo is more heinous than the one they do in Sokoto, than the one they do in Yoruba. They do it everywhere. They cut off people's neck in East. They also cut off people's neck in the Northwest. Cutting of head is cutting of head, and it's bad everywhere. But I cannot say the cutting of head done by Igbo people is worse than the cutting of head done by Hausa people. So in his own case, he has allowed this hatred to eat him too deep.
Mr.
And
Sani, you are referring to
the only way I can do is just to cut him off, because otherwise he's going to, because he has been sending me videos.
Mr. Sani,
I don't watch
are
the
you
videos.
referring to Mr. Sani?
Yeah, no. Mr. Daniel Lindsay.
Okay, Daniel. Okay.
Mr. Daniel Lindsay kept sending me this thing. Wanted me to have the same hate that he hates for, to the point that because I refused to have the hate, he started hating me too, because I couldn't have the same hate he hates. That if I read this, I should not read it. But I say, stop sending these things to me. I don't want to see it. I don't watch. I hate the sight of blood. He sent me the one where they were cutting off somebody's head. I didn't watch it to the end. He sent me the one that they are going to roast somebody with tire. I didn't watch it. I don't like this thing like that, because they are barbaric, they are archaic. It shows we are still living in the Stone Age. But please don't tell me it is only Igbos that pour kerosene and tire and bomb people, because they do it in Lagos, they do it in Kaduna. You get me? Don't tell me it is only in Igbo that they chop off necks. They chop off neck everywhere too. So yes, what they are doing is very, very bad. What the Southeast are doing, this sit at home, is bad. But please, it should not be enough to hate an entire people, which is what Daniel Nze want to make me be. Want to make me hate the Igbos because of the actions of some people. Sorry, I'm not a candidate for that. That's all.
Yeah. This election, for me, I'm not tribalistic. I don't hate any tribe in Nigeria. You understand? I just say it the way it is. So I'm saying that Peter Obi will be a great candidate, but it needs to do more by nominating someone from the north. It's very important, a charismatic leader from the north that will help to boost this campaign. That's what we are expecting from him. Otherwise, we don't want to segregate or divide the country into two parts, because only the Satanas cannot make you a president in Nigeria. That's what I'm trying to say.
Charismatic in the north. Is Okowa charismatic in the south?
No, I'm saying that you cannot compare that with him. With
no. Because Peter Obi is charismatic in the south. He needs to pick somebody in the north. Okay, that's my strategy too. Okay, 100%. But Atiku can be charismatic in north and pick an unknown person in the south. Yaradua can be charismatic in the north and pick an unknown Goodluck Jonathan in the south and still win election. We need to reshape our political mentality in Nigeria as Southerners. They're very candid. Really need to.
Mr. Raka, you cannot say that South or picking a running mate from South. You are from the South.
No, I'm not justifying that. I'm only making a statement about picking an influential person in the South, because I know that influential candidates from the North will never pick an influential candidate from the South. They always pick somebody that is unknown, so that in the event that they are president, the person will not give them problem. Atiku, Okowa, Abi, Yaradua, Goodluck Jonathan. So my battery is really showing red. Let me log off.
Okay then, Mr. Raka, thank you so much. Guys, thank you all for watching. Today's program was really tough between me and Mr. Raka. Thank you all. Mr. Raka, thank you so much. I'll call you later. Guys, if you are watching right now, we'll come back tomorrow or Sunday to continue with this political discussion. I have some people who are going to join the program this weekend. If today is your first time of watching our program, please consider subscribing. If you are watching from YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are watching from Facebook, please like our page, Nebo TV. So we'll talk to you guys tomorrow or on Sunday. Definitely we'll come back. If I can't make it tomorrow, I have an event to attend. Definitely on Sunday we are coming back with Mr. Raka as well. Thank you all.